Hello, it's another Healthy Tuesday on Yourview. Welcome to the show. I am Morayo Afolabi Brown. Always, I don't do this alone. I have my co-hosts here. Hi, ladies.
Hello, Morayo.
Like your interbuild
Yo.
Like your shoes.
Thank you.
Who have similar shoes today.
Yeah. You know, people have been telling me they like my shoes. I'm like, I've been wearing these shoes for at least 4 years.
Are you serious?
Shoes. Yeah. The first year, I bought them the first year we started this show.
Really?
Can you imagine that we have been on this show for 4 years?
Yes.
In May. 4 years in May.
You know,
Only 4 years.
we are in April, almost in April. 4 years we have been doing this show. It's unbelievable. The day I started this show, I never believed.
I'm going to do 4 years.
After 4 years, I thought I would be a multi-millionaire.
It's good for YK to announce it though, because
No, it's true. I thought I would have been
rolling in dollars. When they see you outside, don't they ask you for something?
I'm telling you, of course. Me more than you people.
Good things come to those who wait.
I'm waiting.
Don't worry.
Patiently.
It will come.
You know there is one advert.
It might tarry, but it will surely come.
You know there is one advert that says the patient dog eats the fattest bone. Then there's that advert that says the patient dog eats no bone at all.
Right.
That's how I'm feeling.
And so to avoid poverty, we have started delving into other businesses.
Like selling coffee.
Selling tea and coffee and everything I see to sell.
I thought Jumoke suddenly brought her, she's bringing me gifts. I said, Jumoke doesn't give gifts like that. She's selling coffee now. All right, nice one. How you doing?
Just to avoid poverty.
Okay.
I don't blame you, my dear. I don't blame
How you doing, Jumoke?
I'm good, we thank God. And so I delved into this business just a week ago. The profit margin is 20%, so it's attractive. Let's see how it goes. And I'm using the products, they're really nice. So in just 1 week, I felt like I've lost a bit of weight, you know.
Right.
And
They to make you lose weight.
some of them, but the herbs really
can't
is just
find
to
your
make you
mic,
feel
Mikey.
healthy.
Anyway, let me come to what are you doing?
I want to say thank you to Mrs. Atinuke Akabashon. That's Morayo Afolabi Brown's mother that sent me these lovely earrings.
Yeah.
I'm rocking it. I tried to call her this morning.
She
She
didn't pick
wasn't
up.
picking. You know, thank you so much, Mommy. I
I've
love the
invited
earrings.
everybody to come to our wardrobe.
I am coming to raid your wardrobe because
it's not like it's for all of you now.
Morayo, on a serious note, because you know the thing is, I was just looking at it. Do you know it's so difficult to repeat things? Because we do this show on, it's not a seasonal thing, it's
difficult
a
for
daily.
you. Speak for yourself.
No, it's difficult for me.
Yeah,
I don't know about you, but it's difficult for me.
I
So,
need to know
for
when they are
any
on
free
your
gift,
page.
thank you, YK. Let them be pretending to themselves. For any free gift that anybody wants to give me, please, it's a welcome idea.
They're not pretending
Mommy,
to
I'm
themselves,
coming.
so. Mariah repeats clothes like, Mariah, can you not wear this again?
Listen to me. I will continue to repeat the shoes. Until it opens, it's made me so okay, and I'm really happy and proud of it. Until it opens and everything in hand.
And some of them
I
have
can
been
carry
opening.
one bag for 1 year until it opens.
No,
and
but the
splits.
thing about
I don't need
handbags is
to.
that I prefer to just have one, because I have one black. Anybody that knows me I have, but you must have something very good that can stand.
I refuse
All the hard-
to be under
Hey,
pressure
Lemo.
to change clothes like YK every day. I'm sorry, I'm not going to.
I repeat clothes now.
Yeah, right.
It's just that I just change
The
the
way
combination.
the way you combine it, nobody will
No,
ever know.
because you combine so many things. So how will we know? We can't keep up. You combine like this pink, you can wear like the 5, 6 different things. How will we know?
Come to me for advice. Maybe they say we are doing retreat at my house. When we
Yes,
do the
so
retreat.
Please, when is this retreat now? I haven't heard
Are we
about
serious
it.
people?
My swimsuit is ready.
Let's take a break. When we come back, we'll look at the front
We're not
pages
supposed
of
to
the
be gisting
newspaper. Stay with us. It's Tuesday. It's not Tuesday time. Wait.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
All right. Let's start with the punch. The hottest news. Lagos State government. They commissioned neighborhood corps, 117 cars, 4,000 bicycles in this Lagos. All right. So swam, 2 others diverted 9.8 billion naira shore P and full police fund, says federal government. Obasanjo's wife asked court to stop son's wedding. Ile-Ife, Afenifere backs Aregbesola as Oshun raises panel. Aito pays $202 million for under-delivered crude oils to says NNPC. CBN sells dollar for PTA and school fees at 360 naira to the dollar. Customs seal Kano Senator's house and seizes 13 vehicles. Federal government probes uncovers mass fraud in You-Win program. Hoodlums rob worshippers, share loot in Undo Church. And Melaye graduated from ABU, says VC. Lots of stories. Yes.
Quick one, the hoodlums that, that went to churches in Ondo State.
Can they go to the house of God?
Naso. They said some witnesses said that it was about 3 a.m. They had just finished the vigil and they were on their way home when some guys accosted them and said they were members of the vigilante and asked them to go back into the church. So they walked back into the church and that was how they told all of them to lie down, collected their phones. So prior to that time, they had gone to 4 different churches. Wow. They had robbed from 4 different churches and they now had, you know, all the loot together. So they even shared, they sat down in the church.
All the offering.
And shared the loot. No, which kind of offering? They shared all the loot that they had collected before they now dispersed.
Let it not be that we're going to be arguing at home.
Outside, let us share it in the house of the Lord.
And then 15 minutes later, the anti-squad.
Meanwhile, they had called them. They didn't come.
15 minutes after they
had
left, they now arrived.
Can you imagine?
I said, yes, they are going to catch them. Don't worry.
All right, let's take another story.
Investigating.
Wife, I don't think it's
that's the story I wanted to tell.
Yes, go ahead, please.
Obasanjo's wife. She has taken her son and her future sister-in-law, daughter-in-law, to court. That they want to get married on 11th and 12th of May.
11th of May, yeah.
And she has seen vision
and prophecies that they shouldn't marry before then.
Really?
They should not have any celebration before then.
That they shouldn't do anything elaborate because they told them that something evil was going to happen to him because he would turn 34. You know, June.
On the 1st of June.
Yeah. So she was saying that they had told her, they had different prophets had said, don't do anything elaborate before then. So she's appealing. So she said if she did not take it to court, they will not change the date. Is it them she's suing or their fathers? Because she said they didn't involve her in the preparation of the wedding.
They didn't involve her in the preparation. So we are not even sure. They said, I think it's the father, Kensington.
Yes, the father.
That she's suing.
That's the father-in-law.
Baba Ijebu, the father-in-law, sorry.
And her own husband.
It's a very popular name.
Yes, Kensington. Her name, please.
Obasanjo
had many wives. So
her name is Taiwo Obasanjo.
So have they moved the wedding now?
No, the court
is in court.
They've done it to April 15th, I think, for
just
hearing.
listen to the woman because when mothers have kind of
April
premonitions, let us just always listen to
And if you believe in them, it
usually
usually does happen.
Because what you focus on will definitely come to you.
what you focus on, you attract. Yeah.
I don't know whether she really has the right to stop the wedding because he's of age. You know, I'm now speaking
adult?
legally, and I'm
Yes.
sure the daughter-in-law too is an adult.
Yes.
So what she could do is to appeal to their better natures.
That was what I thought she would do. Instead of going to court.
court will
Apparently
not
she
solve the
says that
problem.
she's tried all that means.
Okay,
but
let's
this
move
is the
on.
only way
We
she
don't know
can.
the full story, so let's move on. The Nation.
Well, this from Harper.
Governor diverts 500 million naira refund to repay his loan. Breakdown of 19 billion naira, 220 million naira, 800, all sorts of money being diverted. Ile-Ife Aregbesola seeks justice for all. Abuja Airport runway not extended by 18 weeks. And Chelsea's are enough fit for Eagles. Who has that story? Governor diverted 500 million naira. Who has that story?
Jumoke has it too. So the Nigerian Governors Forum, is that the story?
The diverted 500 million naira out of the 19 billion naira that they're looking for.
Yes. In this particular article in The Nation, they didn't mention the governor.
Yeah.
But they're just saying that out of the monies allocated to his state from the Paris Fund
Club refund.
Paris Club refund,
yes,
that he diverted some 500 million naira, and the some companies that were, you know, Saraki's aides were accused in the diversion of 3.5 million. They're saying that the companies involved in the matter, that they're not under obligation to find out how, for instance, you allocate the contract to this company and then EFCC now trace that they were paying the money into some people's accounts. They're not saying the companies involved. It's not our responsibility to start chasing after them to find out how they spent their own parts
Right.
I
of the
don't
money.
think I agree.
Okay, let's move on.
No, excuse me, before you go, that's Paris. Is it that they took the money to Paris or what? I want to understand why it's called Paris Fund.
Paris Club.
Paris Club. Is the money in Paris?
No, let me tell you how we went.
Wait, let's explain that after the break. Not now. Let's move on to Vanguard.
It's Abacha.
We've imported 298 million naira SUV sold to Senate. No hands in import clearing of the SUV, says Saraki. Aregbesola inaugurates probe panel on Ife mayhem. Never again will terrorists seize any part of Nigeria, says Buhari. We've done nothing illegal, says governors, according to talk about Paris Club refund. Heads to roll over convicted ex-Adamawa governors released from prison. And I'll resign if Abuja airport runway is not ready in 6 weeks, says Sirika.
We're waiting for him.
Okay,
I'm so happy about Governor Ambode. We've not talked about the picture.
Yes,
because he launched the
Lagos
it's like a communal
Neighborhood
police
Safety Corps, LNSC. You see their vehicles around the world.
I'm very happy.
Is this called purple or blue? I think it's blue and yellow.
Yeah, they employed about 7,000 youths, and they gave them about 117 motorcycles.
Cars, 117 cars, 4,000 bicycles.
Bicycles, yeah. And I'm very excited about the policy because, I mean, the new whatever body initiative. The only challenge I have right now is I want to see how they will partner, because he's saying that they are no way in competition with the police. They're supposed to complement the work of the police. And he was given an insight. He was saying most of the domestic staff that we have, most of them don't have, any form of records. So I'm just wondering, would they have offices, or would we still go to the local police if there's anything? How would they, work?
Maybe they also said
maybe they work like vigilantes.
Yeah, he also said that he's starting the whistleblowing policy. So if any of the neighborhood
communities
communities hear anything that they can use to arrest
information, yes,
there will also be payments.
Yes,
for
which
you.
is great.
I watched that launch yesterday. It was such a fanfare. I thought that we only just needed to just launch and move on. All the partying
Well, it's
and
important
dancing.
for us to know that they exist. For me, it was key for us to know they exist, so we know their roles. Because there's many people in your
I love this. I just want them to give us a tighter plan. So what is the plan? Okay. If somebody is committing a crime, for instance, at home, do I report to them? They will not hand the person over to the police, or how will they?
Do they have cells also?
Yes. Thank you.
All those modalities.
Will they have like small stations, like post stations, small stations that they would operate from?
We'll get somebody. I know earlier they
have received adequate
training. Spoke to Honorable Brian.
Yes, they said they have trained them well.
Well, the journey is from January to date, so we're not even sure if it's enough training. But we're still going to talk more about it. They just launched them yesterday, so we'll still
jump in front of my car.
They have their bicycles. They don't need to jump in front of your car. Daily Sun.
Thank you.
It's nice to ride bicycles in Banana Island, but I don't know how you want to ride bicycle in Mushi.
Oshodi.
In that your area. What's that area again? Alagole.
The road is so bad. We fall inside the gutter. Cars, it's just by chance we don't fall.
Daily Sun. Customs impound senators 13 vehicles. Jonathan never involved in certificate scandal, says aide. Governors to EFCC, no illegality in Paris Club transaction. Wike Benue's governors fight worsens. Dino graduated from ABU in 2000, says VC. I was never arrested, Abia Accountant General, and declare what is wrong with you, says Shoyinka to Buhari.
I read that Shoyinka thing, and I wanted to quickly mention the Dino story where the VC of ABU appeared before the Senate yesterday and said that Dino Melaye graduated as Daniel Josiah Melaye in 2000.
Yeah, 2000.
In year 2000. But he did his NYSC in 1999, and Senator Ndume was wondering, how is that possible? He did NYSC before he graduated in this same country?
It happens.
So
I hear it happens.
They asked Ndume, it happens. It does.
I hear it happens.
So Melaye is proving that he does.
They also interrogated Ndume, and that what does he have against him? And he says no, he doesn't have anything against anybody. He just said, because he had been hearing from all the social media and everybody saying that there was corruption in the Senate, that he had to just come and say, look, please, bring it out. Let's
just see your certificate
and let everything be outside.
So, Sha, In Laura Kosha, he has certificates. So he now the 5 billion naira suits against what's the show?
So you should go ahead.
Let's just see what happens.
But did you see him dancing on social media? Yes.
What that song you were singing?
No, excuse me. Was he dancing? Was that him?
That was him.
Are you sure?
He was like,
ẹni tí ò lè ná ẹni tó dìnà dín ní ìyàlẹ́ ó jẹ́ ìyà ni ó jẹ́.
No, that was him. It was not him.
That's him.
Right. It's not him. I refuse to believe it was him. It was not him.
Why it was him? Anyways, that for me was just
our leader.
It's not him. Let's take a break.
Sign out like this.
When we come back, we'll take the hot topics.
ìyà ni ó jẹ́.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Thanks for staying with us. A new study that we heard about or read, published by Johns Hopkins Kimmel Cancer Center, suggests that most cancer cases are unavoidable and are caused more often by, wait for it, bad luck than anything else. It is widely believed that as humans, if we exercise for 30 minutes every day, eat healthy, avoid cigarettes, alcohol, and drugs, meditate, participate in healthy trends, it seems logical that we would live longer and be happier and avoid diseases like cancer. So we ask, is there anything like bad luck, especially going by this study from Johns Hopkins? What are your thoughts? It's Your View. Call us on 070-80-668-014. You can tweet to us at TVC Connect, hashtag YourViewTVC, so we can read your tweets. So do you believe in bad luck? Because according to this, I'm not even sure how they came about this research.
They're proving that there are many children who come down with cancer, and you cannot actually say what they've done wrong. For adults, you can say, oh, your lifestyle, sedentary, the kind of food you eat, fast food, you're not doing any exercise, you smoke, you take alcohol, that's why you came down with cancer. But that children, 3 months, 6 months, how do they come down with cancer? That cancer must be bad luck. And we've had the cancer survivor on this couch. The lady later died of pneumonia. But when she came on the couch, she was talking about the industry, how cancer is an industry where just making money from chemo, and that is a scam, you know, that all she took were herbs for her to get better. Moreover, I believe in good and evil. I believe that because I've read the Bible, that when you sin, for instance, there are consequences. And some of those consequences, God, when he was angry with the children of Israel, would say that this plague would come on you. Then when he was appeased, he would say, I have taken away the sicknesses of Egypt from you. So diseases in the Bible were a sign of sin. So if John Hopkins is coming up with this report to make it seem like we just cannot explain cancer, because all of us have cells that ought to multiply. In some people, they just multiply and do not die. How do you explain it?
So in the Christian parlance, we'll say this is a spiritual attack.
Yes, once possible.
Yeah, so it's possible. From going by this, it means that those who believe that cancer actually is a name that must be called what it is and destroyed from the pits of hell, maybe they have an argument now.
I beg to disagree.
Okay.
I beg to disagree. I will disagree. One, my sister died of cancer. And if knowing my sister, I'm not saying she was without sin. No human being is without sin.
Sure. She
was a very nice, lovely person. So when I read this kind of thing, yes, I can agree that there's an element of bad luck.
Yeah.
Yes. But that is because you have sinned or something. where will you put the little children who have had cancer, or who have died of cancer, or who are born with one heart, or the Siamese twins? So I cannot.
But why can you believe that curses are passed from generation to generation?
There are people.
Yep.
You believe that curses are passed from generations. So the child might come the same way we were born sinners. We didn't actually eat the apple, but we're all part of this.
That's your biblical belief,
Yes.
not mine.
Okay.
I also want to say that.
If you lost your train of thought, let me come to Uwa. You come back to you.
Sorry.
Yes, Uwa.
You see, the element of bad luck, that's the part I do not really agree with. Do you understand? Because I have seen what we do in this climb when we are faced with certain things, because we cannot explain it, because we cannot dissect it, we just mystify it. And it brings a lot of things, and it gives you this kind of mindset that, okay, it's not working because of one auntie in the village. And that is what a lot of religious leaders, both Christians, Muslim, whatever, traditional leaders, have harped on. And that's why they are making they're going to the bank and cleaning out based on those kind of,
beliefs.
Those kind of beliefs. So, yes.
But this is not an African
No, I'm
research.
not.
This is
John Hopkins.
This is Johns Hopkins.
I'm just telling you that when you talk about bad luck, because if you're talking about, I'm not relating it right now to health. I'm talking about generally. Because if you take it on health, it's the same thing. You cannot be eating something that is detrimental to your health, and you now tell me that it is bad luck.
According to this report,
Yes.
30% of people
I
who have
understand.
cancer are the ones that eat
But
unhealthy.
no.
But there's a huge percentage of people that
You
it
can't
just
trace
happens.
it.
No.
So we're saying in Christian parlance that maybe it's a
Murayo.
spiritual battle.
They threw a stone.
See,
I know of people who have smoked till they are 90
Thank you.
and they don't catch cancer.
Same
It
argument.
is the neighbor that is sitting beside
That is
him
smelling the
who
cigar.
probably has his own immune system is lower than the one smoking, who will now go and catch
the cancer and die.
And maybe that one is going to church every day, praying to God. I know someone who died of colon cancer. The guy was very religious, very nice guy, and he died of colon cancer.
So he still buttresses this Johns Hopkins argument. But let me take this call from Cotonou. Morning, are you there? Gladys, are you there?
Yes. How are you?
Thank you for calling. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, I'm a first-time caller.
Welcome to the show.
All right. I thank you, ladies. What you are doing is great.
Thank you.
Hello?
We can hear you very clearly. Go ahead, please.
Okay. I want to make a contribution.
Yes, Brady. Yeah.
All right. Yes, I believe in this bad luck of a thing because it is very, very spiritual. Like Jumoke has said, when man sinned against God, so God gave us his back, and the devil started operating. So most of these diseases are being caused by devil, the demon itself. So God didn't create any disease because God made man, and he created all the things that man should live with. Even the medication, the leaves, the herbals, they work for good. But devil is just like what we used to say in our local language, book is that you put sansa for my gari.
All right.
So devil.
Thank you very much, Brady.
Sansa
But this doesn't
because-
sound fair on those living with this disease.
It doesn't.
It doesn't sound
It
fair
doesn't.
at
Listen,
all.
let's go back to our lifestyle.
Until you know, sorry, Jare, until you have been faced with the people who are suffering from this disease, before we start to pass judgment, I will just pray that it doesn't affect any or inflict any one of us. So we should just be praying and be in prayer, but it's not your portion.
Someone very close to me.
And stop being judgmental.
No, I'm going by this report.
Someone
Yes, go ahead.
very close to me passed, and it was as a result of some cancer, some growth inside his stomach. And the truth is that from while we were young, I knew there was something wrong, but nobody paid attention. Do you understand? And when he now finally passed, I started hearing things like, "Oh, it is somebody in the family that killed the person," and I'm wondering, it is not fair, Murayo. We see certain things, we let it slide. We do not even check certain things. You are complaining of the same pain over and over again. You do not go to see your doctor. Eventually, this person passes, and you now say that it is a spiritual attack. I mean, there is a place of spirituality, but we should not now use that one as a benchmark for now allowing a lot of things to fly and say that it is a spiritual matter. That is where I have a problem.
Let's take this call from Moses. Moses, are you there?
Yes,
Dr. Moses, actually. Thanks for calling.
Good morning.
Morning.
I appreciate what you are discussing. What you are just saying now has exposed the mentality of people that say cancer is not curable because social authorities say this. How will somebody on earth say that cancer is caused by bad luck? What is bad luck? Myself, I treat cancer. I'm here close to your station. I'm here in Ikosi. There are natural things, even one single thing God has made that cures cancer. Because every cancer cell has microorganism in the cancer cell. If you don't remove that microorganism that is eating, passing physics into the cell that is called mycotoxin, how do you treat cancer?
Thank you.
So I thank all of you who believe that it is time that we start realizing that white man cannot continue to blindfold us in the name of science.
Yeah.
We should come to be myself, I went to Lagos State government to get license to practice natural medicine so that nobody will bother me about science or no science.
That's a fantastic point you made, Dr. Moses. That's a very valid point because that was where we actually were eventually driving this home to. That it's almost as though the West is just driving us here, then driving us there, driving us wherever. They're pushing all sorts of arguments. 1 second is because of cells that refuse to die. Suddenly now they're coming another report saying, it's bad luck. So it's like, it's this whole cancer industry.
Tell us how to think.
This entire cancer industry is almost like a real scam where it's just to make money and monetize.
When we were growing up in the north, Waki was talking about the herb that she took that she has not had malaria for years. When we were growing up, there was no such thing as, sickness that we could not go and pluck one tree from somewhere to cure. Yeah. I'm just saying that we should first of all check all our options.
Thank you, Uwa. You just, because you just said what I was going to say, I'll just expatiate. Look, in the olden days, our ancestors, they knew what leaf was for what leaf, what treatment was for this. Yeah. We lived the natural way. Yeah. We have lost all that.
Yeah. We're eating junk,
oil. We fry chicken.
All right, unfortunately we have to round. Let's round up. Can I take just one tweet? Hurry up.
Okay. Celestine says, of course, bad luck exists. How do you explain a case where a poor innocent child suddenly develops cancer? Benga says, bad luck simply means negative. Our parents didn't have cancer in the olden days. Now, cancer is a scam.
Yeah, Omola Jaolatuni says, John Hopkins, Ben Carson's former constituency, bad luck, not scientific. But maybe maybe spiritual. Okay. We need more research.
All right, let's take a quick break. Now
we come back. African research centers.
No. When we come back, we discuss colorectal cancer. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Yourview will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. Colorectal cancer, also known as bowel cancer, or colon cancer, or rectal cancer, is any cancer which comes in growth, lump, or tumor. The World Health Organization says it is the second most common cancer worldwide after lung cancer. Also, report has it about 1 in 20 people develop colorectal cancer during their lifetime, with the risk being slightly higher for men than for women. Joining us on the show is a woman who lost her husband through colorectal cancer, who is also the chairperson and founder of Neola Cancer Care Foundation, Eniola Salu Akintade. We also have a consultant, surgeon, Dr. Adedapo Oshino. Welcome to the show.
Welcome.
Interesting. Our guest yesterday was also Shashino. Welcome to the show.
Wow.
Right. We talked about bad luck earlier. I'd like the doctor to. What are your thoughts on this Johns Hopkins
Sorry,
report?
yeah. I think it's a repetition of what had taken place, what he had reported earlier. Cancer generally is usually an interplay of your genetic makeup and your environment, right? When you use the word bad luck, we're all different here, right? I'm surrounded by beautiful ladies, right? I have this.
Thank you.
Yeah. I have this. I know this model has said, "Oh, why are you so beautiful?" They said she won a genetic lottery, right? A genetic lottery. Somebody that wins a lottery will say. Somebody that is very beautiful will say, "Oh, I won a genetic lottery." Somebody that is not too beautiful will say, "Will you call that bad luck?"
Yes.
You call it because she's not beautiful. You call it bad luck. No way.
All right.
So,
Okay,
let me tell you what they explain exactly. You see, one thing about cancer generally is we all know what cancer means. That means that cells proliferation is unchecked, so it invariably overwhelms the body, right? But we are all different. Our genetic blueprint is different.
Yeah.
The way God designed us, God designed us in such a way that since some cells are being produced and at alarming rate, there are checks and balances in the body to prevent that overwhelming growth. If for any reason the brakes are not functioning in one particular individual and the individual develops cancer, will you say it's bad luck?
Okay.
No.
All right. Let me come to Eniola for a second here, because I know your story. You have a very profound story of how your husband went through colorectal. How is it easy detecting colorectal cancer? Because usually we know that we are told about the breast cancer. You check here and there. But how did you finally find out it was colorectal cancer?
Yes, and that was the reason I have to start the NGO. That was one of the lessons I learned from that. It wasn't easy. We didn't find it. We didn't find the cancer on time. It was already late stage. Yes, it was already late stage. In fact, it was after they've done the first operation and the biopsies was tested. That was taking the tumor to the lab to tell us what exactly was wrong with him. That was when we knew it was cancer, and that was when we knew it was colorectal cancer.
Possibly like stage 4.
Yes, it was late stage. And that's the problem we're talking about, wrong diagnosis. That's the issue.
What was the initial diagnosis?
Oh no, the initial is the normal stomach
It's
pain,
typhoid.
typhoid. Then
Malaria.
there was infection in his blood. So what was causing infection? And during that period, a sister came from US, and because I'm a jewelry designer, and I went to deliver that day, I needed to see, the sister is a medical doctor, so I went to see her. And I was like, why are you looking so worried? You're not happy. And I was like, my husband is sick. What is wrong? I said, they said there is infection in his blood. And this woman said, are you sure it's not cancer? I said,
God forbid.
it's not my portion. It's not his portion. And I was like, what's she saying? Cancer. Okay. And I left that day. And we started treating him. We were doing all what they asked us to do. No one below his stomach started swelling. And they did the operation, they removed it. They assured us that when they remove it, they would test it. They tested it and it came back that it was cancer. That was how we started. He went for chemotherapy for almost over a year. And the cancer came back again.
Wow. But Doctor, I would like to, to ask, because we hear that there's cancer. Some children go through, they are born and, they find out that they have cancer. And in my small head, I'm wondering, how would a child develop cancer? Can you help us, understand that? Is it possible that it's linked to probably
The lifestyle of the parents
that is housing the baby, or probably the genes or something?
Yeah, I want to say it's the lifestyle of the parents, right? It's probably the genetic makeup of the individual. For a child to develop, a child is different from you and I. A child has not really interacted with the environment much, right? So like the checks and balances I spoke about, maybe the checks and balances are defective in the child, right? There are degrees of defect, right? Maybe somebody has a 10% defect, another individual has a 20% defect. So if you now have an individual that has, say, 100% defect, invariably, the individual can develop cancer very, very early in life.
Is that not bad luck for you to have 100% defect?
I don't want to call it bad luck. When you call it bad luck, right, that means you don't have a scientific basis for it. If you have a scientific basis for something, you call it bad luck.
Okay.
Now, let me come to Eniola for a second. Looking back to your husband, your relationship, can you remember the initial signs? You know, those initial signs to look out, because people are out there right now battling with different things. They don't even know, they just think it's malaria, typhoid, you know, that's all.
And all
What
our
are those that I'll come to
hospitals-
doctor will probably tell us the scientific symptoms. But
Symptoms.
from you, from a regular
For the
wife,
human
what
and
did
God.
you
For the human
notice?
Yes, that is why in our NGO we are advocating, we are creating more awareness on colorectal cancer. I think maybe she is the one that mentioned it, that what needs to be done is, when you see some certain, someone said it here then, that she lost somebody when she was very young. There was somebody they normally see, and they will see some certain symptoms. Okay, you said it. Yes, Bola has some certain symptoms, and we overlooked it.
Like-
That is why we're like painful stomach, not going to the toilet regularly, and when it does, sometimes maybe for 3 days, it might be stooling non-stop. By the time we see the terrible signs, that's weakness of the body, stooling blood and all that, already it was late. And at that time, we didn't even know it was late. Yes.
So coming to... Okay,
So
go
I
ahead.
think if Bola has done what he's supposed to do, Bola died in 2013. If Bola has done a fecal occult test in 2007-8, that means he had the tumor, it has been bleeding, and it's a stage. So he will talk about the stages.
Okay, that's
And
what I was-
And is there any way that before he talks about the stages now, for instance now, there are men, there are women watching.
Yes.
Is there any way we can go and get tested? For whatever reason, do you have to wait for any symptom for you to just check that your colon is
yeah.
healthy?
Yes, well, we've discussed that in the NGO. We pegged, like what he said, the World Health Organization said, to test for colorectal cancer, the age is 50. But from him and from other doctors now, they see more of younger people having colorectal
Okay,
cancer.
let's come to the doctor then. Since because, as I said, breast cancer is fairly known.
Fairly
We all
known.
know about
Cervical
it.
cancer as
Prostate
well.
cancer. But
But
this
not much
colorectal
known about colorectal
not
cancer.
much is known. And I'm happy that you have an NGO that is trying to educate us. So tell us what we need to know concerning this type of cancer. How do we know the early symptoms? And what do we look out for?
The truth about it is colorectal cancer in its early stages there are usually no signs. The medical balance for that is asymptomatic. By the time colorectal cancer becomes symptomatic, that means when the patient has some signs and symptoms, usually maybe it has progressed from like a stage 1 problem. Usually 4 stages for cancer. It has progressed from like a stage 1 problem to like a stage 2 disease or even a stage 3 disease. That's when it's symptomatic. Unfortunately, what happens many a time is because when it's even symptomatic, some of these symptoms will mimic many other problems in the body. Case in point, virtually everybody that you meet that has abdominal pain will have been treated for ulcer.
Also true.
So that tells you one thing. We have to be our own advocate. If you notice, like she rightly mentioned, right, we have to be our own advocate. Why? She said something about her husband, right? If you ordinarily, when you were born, since you've known yourself very well, you stool once or twice a day. It changes to once in 4 days or once in 3 days. You need to find out why. You don't, you see, why am I emphasizing this? Because the WHO says that what the Americans do is you start screening for colorectal cancer from the age of 50. But we see people that are a lot younger than, even they've started saying that in the US as well. People are a lot younger than 50 developing colorectal cancer. So what do? You don't want to start screening everybody. We don't have the resources to screen everyone. We don't have the resources to do that. So therein lies the issue. You have to be your own advocate. If you notice any change in your body, try and figure out why. I saw a patient last week. She's just 34. For the very first time, she passed blood in stool. And she said she needed to know why she passed blood in stool. That's why she came to the hospital. That's why she did the required test. For vast majority of Nigerians, for vast majority of people, when you ask them, oh, I've been passing blood in stool for like many years.
Oh, right.
You now ask them, why are you coming for the test now?
No.
Oh, maybe because somebody told me I should come for the test now, or they develop pain somewhere. That's how it is. So you need to be your own advocate.
You're very correct. I think that's one thing, major myth I got here.
Yeah.
We need to be our keeper. Know when something changes in your body. Let's take a break. When we come back, let's see what else we need to know concerning colorectal cancer. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your view will be right back. Welcome
Thanks for staying with us. I know you mentioned earlier, because our objective is to help people out there to know how to get help. And I know you have an NGO that focuses on colorectal cancer. And as a wife, you said it's not your portion. A lot of women out there say it's not their portion. But what is your NGO doing exactly? I mean, just give us information about what help do you provide for people to inform them on this cancer?
First and foremost, Nigeria is still behind. My late husband died in India. And I happened to ask them, despite what we were going through, I asked one of the doctors there that, how were you able to put up all these things, nice equipment, beautiful personnel and all that? And they said the government, they don't wait on the government, that they talk to the individuals and corporate bodies in India to get this done. So that was part of the lesson I learned. Then there's more advocacy, there's more awareness. Okay. That is what we are not doing right in this country. Okay. There is still minimal awareness on cancer generally. No, that's the truth. And another problem is that Nigeria is so religious, which is a good thing. But the other side of us being over-religion is this problem about our health issue, that when people are sick, and I've been in that, so I said it now, that when we first saw the signs, and even when somebody told me that hope is not cancer, I said it's not my portion. And for me to have said that, there's something we're supposed to have done at that time, but we didn't do it because I was still saying it wasn't my portion.
You were in denial.
I was in denial. And that is the problem we have now. Oh, he's a winch. My husband was a fantastic man. He was a loving man, he was kind, he was my friend, he was so forgiving. Anybody that knows Bola knows what I'm talking about. I talk about Bola every day since he died in 2013. He was kind. He was somebody that you like to be with. How can God want to punish me and want to punish Bola and gave him cancer? It's not so. There were some things we didn't do. There were some signs that were there that we were living in there that we never did. So as an NGO, we choose to come to Nigeria. We decide to tell Nigeria, go for your screening. When you see anything is wrong, don't wait. When you see some signs, don't wait. And when you're at a certain age in life, when you know you're 40, please go for some certain screening. You don't even wait. And that is what is being done abroad. Then now as an NGO, Neola Cancer Care is doing door-to-door awareness campaign, office-to-office awareness campaign. Right. We know you are so busy, you won't come out. We will come and meet you. Right. We'll talk to you. We'll tell you what to do. Then our lifestyle, let Nigeria go back to the organic food.
Gotcha. I wanted to ask the doctor, because now you find out something is wrong. You do probably the test, and the test now reveals that there's something in your system. First of all, what's the chance of survival? If you detect it early, what's the chance of survival? And is there like a
5-year survival rate?
Something like that.
Right, one.
Then even after it has, you survived it, is there like a reoccurrence chance as well?
Yeah, there are two things. Let me explain. We're talking about a recurrence. It depends on, let's assume it's cancer that was detected early, right? You see, if you assume, if cancer is picked up early, you're talking about a stage 1 problem. Like chances of surviving a stage 1 problem in the next 5 years is over 90%, between 90 and 100%. Wow. And it decreases proportionately. By the time you get to a stage 4 problem, the chances of surviving 5 years is probably very, very low. So it's just how it is. The sad reality is, for a stage 1 disease, you don't spend a lot of money, and the outcome is efficacious. For a stage 4 disease, you spend a lot of money, and you won't be happy with the outcome.
Let me take this call from Benue State, and I'll come to YK. Dan, are you there?
I'm there. Welcome to your program.
Please.
Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning.
So I just want to ask this question. So, is it when you are stolen blood, is it directly you have a colorectal cancer?
No.
I just want to know.
All
because
right.
this happened, because this happened to me a long time ago, and when I went to a doctor, he told me that I should stop some certain food I ate. And when I do that, because I like eating Indomie a lot and the rest of all those fast food, and when I stopped that, before sometimes the thing got stopped. But sometimes when I am having a malaria, I saw the symptom of that spilling of blood.
Okay, all right.
But it's not regular as usual. So
okay,
I
you want to just know
if
if
that
it's
is
going to
the
be
sign.
stolen.
I think you should
And who and where do I go to for the
screening
test?
Okay.
Who does he go to?
No, let's clarify something, right? You see, I mentioned earlier, if you have an individual has a problem, right? Just because you passed blood or something happened to you just once, just we assume it's a disaster coming. You pass blood in stool once and just assume, oh, it's colorectal cancer. It could be, right? This gentleman mentioned that he passed water stool. I think that's what he said. He passed water stool, missed the blood. And it only happened once and never happened again. Right? So am I going to advise that gentleman? I don't know how old he is. Am I going to advise that gentleman to go for screening? No way. It's not a consistent thing.
Yeah.
It's not a consistent
So
thing.
it has to be consistent.
It's not like, look, when we talk about maybe you're passing water stool, for example, it becomes significant. If you have to pass water stool, nobody has ever, I don't know anyone that has passed water stool for a month that has not checked himself. For some Nigerians, you've passed water stool for a month and you won't check yourself.
Okay.
That's
All right.
something very wrong.
I was going to ask you, because during the break we spoke about screening and how much it costs, and so what stops a lot of people from going for tests, myself inclusive, is when you get there, if by some stroke of bad luck you are diagnosed with cancer,
All right.
you will now start looking, where will
Can
I
I-
get money
can
to
I-
treat
can I
myself?
tell you something?
I'll start going, begging, so a lot of people shy
That
away.
makes you sick. I'd rather not know.
I would rather not know.
All right. Ignorance is bliss. Right. I need to tell you something about what I mentioned earlier, to the fact that if a disease is picked up early,
It's
can be
cheaper.
it's cheaper for you
Yeah, true.
than when it's picked up at stage 4. Which one do you prefer?
I like early, but what I'm saying is a lot of people cannot even afford that stage 1. Not to talk of stage
All right.
0
All right. If you can't afford stage 1, right? That means you prefer stage 4.
We
then.
have, we,
If you can, no.
Time is fast spent. We need to round off. Let me let Eniola
that
come
man
in.
that is pushing carts on the road, is he the one that can afford stage 1 or stage 0? His preference for his doctor to tell you have typhoid and malaria, you have typhoid and malaria.
Please sleep it out. Drink water. It will be all right.
And then just fall down one day and die.
So what do we do in such a circumstance?
Exactly. Well,
I don't
still
know.
have to
Yeah,
I
like-
think
The
I'm
government
asking you,
needs to come
see,
in.
that's where I
Yeah.
think government has to step in, because like in England, you have NHS.
Can I tell you something? We can't afford it. We cannot afford it. We can't afford to start screening for colorectal, advocating that the government should start screening for colorectal cancer in Nigeria.
No.
Government should step in. I think it's an individual thing.
It's an individual.
It's an individual thing.
I agree.
Yeah.
But all of us on this table,
Yes, sir.
all of us can afford to go for screening, but there are a lot of people who cannot afford that kind of treatment.
so that's why he said earlier that the moment you notice something abnormal about you, so first of all, know yourself.
Go early enough.
Know the time. You know how your body reacts to malaria. Know what happens.
You have to be your own
Once
advocate.
you understand that, the moment something changes, don't wait. The earlier you ask about it,
Early
Because that
detection is
early
key.
test, he said, is between 500 naira to 1,000
Yeah,
naira.
that
I am
is
sure they
cheaper.
can afford that.
Okay.
And it will be cheaper to treat at
because
an early
trust me,
stage.
I've seen poor people at stage 4 cancer. They will find the money to pay for chemotherapy.
It's just now
Can I also
millions.
say something in Nigeria? The problem in Nigeria, what we have in Nigeria is we don't have a functional and effective health insurance,
system.
right?
That's one of the things I'm saying.
Can I say something? Can I say, look, how many cars do you have how many SUVs do you have on the road, right? You will know somebody that has a big SUV. Our own health insurance system is the extended family. So that's your best bet. You have a problem, you go to your extended family to help you.
Okay.
You can afford it.
All right, we have to round up. Eniola, do you want to say any last words, please?
Yes,
There's
I need to
nothing
say a
you
lot
pick
of
up
things.
on.
We've just mentioned one or two things. I'm employing all Nigerians, corporate individuals, to please join hands. There's no way in the world you leave cancer management to government. No. So we all must come together to fight this scourge, please. And please, we want people to show love to people going through this scourge. We notice most people have been abandoned. Even in hospital, they run away. It happens to my late husband. People actually abandon him. I'm repeating it again. People are ready to pay money for ashwebi than to take care of somebody. We should change our attitude. Even in abroad, you see people buying flowers to people they don't know. Everybody love cancer patients. Please, let's show love to them. That was
you
why
very
in
close to your
Neola,
husband?
yeah, that was why in Neola I spent my Christmas with cancer patients for the past 2 years, and I spent my birthday with them. Yes, that is the only way I could show them love. That is the only way I could give back to them. And I still want to plead to Nigerians, please, and please, let's join out together. Let's do this thing together.
Okay, we'll tweet information about your foundation, your foundation to help you, because we wish we met Balahom, because obviously he must have been a fantastic guy.
He was.
The way you talk about him. So I just pray that God will strengthen you, and I hope your NGO actually helps lots more people, preventing them to.
Well, with Dr. Shinawa is a fantastic guy.
Thank you, Dr. Shinawa.
All
right, he has to run.
Yes, he is.
That's
He's
all
a
we
brilliant,
can take
brilliant,
on
and
the show.
fantastic guy.
Thank you very much.
He's the co-founder of the NGO team.
Have a lovely day. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye. Bye. Sorry, I have to do that abruptly.
are